come with me to buy a gun. Like, that is not a situation to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's ignoring you. Red flag. I think I just found my new summer look. Buen dia, mi gente. Welcome back to my channel. I'm actually at Target Optical. I have an eye doctor's appointment right now. I haven't been to the optometrist since 2022. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna go to my appointment. I'll catch up with you guys after. I just finished my appointment in Target Optical and I had to pick up a couple things while I was here. So let's grab those. Grab a little coffee. I haven't done a Target run in forever. I don't really shop at Target anymore, but since I'm here, kill two birds with one stone, right? You guys, Target has such cute bikinis. What? Who knew? Also really been loving these in my coffees in the morning. So tonight I am going to have dinner with my friend Elizabeth. I think you met her briefly back at Valentine's Day. Elizabeth is one of my oldest friends. I have known her longer than I've known my husband. We've been friends for 13 years. We met while in college and we just hit it off. She was my maid of honor at my wedding. We're gonna have dinner and then we're going out to celebrate our friend Jenny's birthday. Jenny was also at my wedding. And then tomorrow we have a Revolution home game, which I'm super excited about. We haven't been to a game in like a couple of weeks. They've been away. Okay, I just did like some random, like a random eyeshadow combination, but I really like it. I did the Laura Mercier Kiss from a Rose Caviar eyeshadow stick. And then in my Makeup by Mario palette, I just did, where is it? I just used these two shades, kind of like a little transition. I think that's gonna look really good with the brown liner I'm gonna use. And then I did not forget about the question and answer I posted on Instagram. So I figured on Sunday, I will go through and answer everybody's questions. I have not picked up this Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in a minute. I love her. And then I'm gonna go in and mix blushes. I'm gonna mix my MAC Mineralized Blush in Humor Me with the highlights from my Hourglass palette. Because this is a very natural finish, but, and I want a little bit of like, ooh, you know, like she's glowing. Watch this backfire on me, I swear to God. Ooh, ooh, okay, serve. Kind of dab the excess. Okay, she's pretty. Going with some Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. Woo! If you're not using a lash primer, you're missing out. This one was like $4 on Amazon. This is the Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer. YSL Lash Clash in brown. Gonna put the Sephora mascara on my lower lash just because the wand is better for grabbing some of those thinner lashes. And then for a lip, I'm gonna try this other Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Velvet. This is in the shade Parchment. And I'm just gonna blot. I don't want like the full color. I just kind of want like a slight color. I might change this to Peach Amber later, but these are so good. Clean up the edge with the Q-tip. Okay, and that is the final look for tonight. I am gonna get dressed and just kind of get ready. I'll catch up with you when we're on our way to Elizabeth's. All right, I made it to Elizabeth's. I'm just waiting for her to come down. I always forget how cute Cambridge is. Like, she has all these cute little shops and restaurants and things. Very nice. Guys, my parking job is insane. Like, barely fit. She's perfect.
This is cute.
Wow. Whole adventure?
Because I'm like, are you gonna ID us?
I know. I'm like, do you need my ID?
This is nice. We got full plans.
Good morning, everybody. Last night was a lot of fun. We ended up going to this place called D16, which is next to Dillon's in Back Bay. It's like a new, they call it a speakeasy. It's not a speakeasy. It's just like a downstairs lounge. Definitely not a speakeasy, but the vibe was really cool. They have like a dinner menu, but mostly they're known as like a cocktail bar. It was a lot of fun. Great Great vibes. I'm like texting Josh while I'm there though, because the DJ was like could not get the vibe. He was like playing club music, and I mean like back to back to back bangers. Like we're playing Usher, we're playing Pitbull, we're playing Beyonce, and it's just like there's no break. And I'm like, this is not a club. This is a lounge. So I don't know. I want to go on like a Wednesday, see if maybe the vibe's a little bit more chill, a little bit more like what's it? Lo-fi, chill. Not even, probably like fashion house vibes. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna do like a half up, half down situation. It's kind of warm out and I don't feel like doing a lot of makeup. This is the Bondi Boost Thermal Brush. I don't necessarily like using a lot of heat on my hair, which is why I love this, because it heats from the inside, so it reduces heat damage to your hair. Wait, no, that looks so cute. I'm gonna use the Nexus Slick Stick Stronghold Hair Wax, just to get some of these flyaways in the front. Okay, like I said, I don't want to do a lot of makeup, so I'm just gonna do a little SPF. I'm gonna take the CL Tint and Protect SPF 50 serum, but I'm just gonna do like tiny bit, just to even like the skin tone. Do my brows, right? Give the face a little structure. Do a little bronzer on the perimeter. Then we'll do the CL Cosmetics Concealer in SPF 30. If you have not tried this brand yet and you're somebody who wants more like SPF coverage and just are trying to figure out a way to add more SPF into your routine, this brand has truly done it. Then I'm gonna use my Ilia Color Haze Multi-Use Pigment in the shade Stutter. I've really been gravitating towards this the past couple of weeks. It's just like the most perfect flush of color for my skin. Add more. I can't get enough of it. I don't know. And then for powder, I'm gonna go in with the CL Filter and Protect Powder SPF 30. This is shade 2. Okay, truthfully, I don't know if I want to put on mascara. I think I just want to do a bold lip. So we're gonna try it out. You remember like 2 weeks ago, I told you about the YSL lip shade that's like an orangey brown. I really want to wear that. I want to see if I can make that work. But because it's kind of bold, I'm like, maybe I just leave my eyes with no mascara. But I'm gonna do the look. I'm gonna do the lip first. Let's see. For liner, I'm using the Ami Kohl liner in Rose Clay. This is the YSL Candy Glaze in the shade 8. I'm gonna do a little at a time. I just like playing around with this because with summer around the corner, obviously we all want lighter makeup looks, if not no makeup looks. Okay, that's the lip. What do we think? Do we think mascara or no? I don't know. I kind of really like it like this. I just feel like with this lip, it's enough. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna curl my lash, bring a mascara with me, and if in like an hour or two, I'm like, you know what, I want mascara, I'll put it on. If not, I'll just have like a cute little curled lash. Okay, I just curled the lash. Low key, I think I just found my new summer look. All right, I'm gonna go check on Josh and get ready to head out.
So they took the goal back. So
End score was 0-0. They said it was offsides, even though it definitely wasn't.
Rough. One shot on target all game.
Yeah, it should have been an easy win, so
Yeah, it should have been easy.
kind of sucks that it was a draw.
Whatever.
Come with me to buy a gun. I have had my license to carry for a couple of months now, and I'd been researching different types of firearms. I got my license, you know, everybody in my family has, you know, their LTC, and I will be honest with you, it's actually been pretty intimidating. Like, even just to go and get my LTC, my license to carry, part of the reason I put it off for so long is because I was like, well, like, what's really the point? And also, as part of the test, you have to shoot a gun. And I was like, oh, that's like real life. I don't know that I'm ready for that. But I did it. And I did it with my brother. So, you know, we were kind of in it together. But ultimately, I have not purchased a firearm because I've been intimidated by it. I've just been intimidated by the process. Like, how do I know what gun to buy? What's a good gun? What purpose would I need one for? Like, how do I, just the whole process has been intimidating. And for me, I've always really been a proponent of do it afraid. Like, researching things. I've done a lot of research, YouTube, like talking to people. So I definitely feel that I've reached a point where I've done my research. I know what I want, and I'm going to get my first firearm. And Josh and I are also looking at getting a range membership next month so we can go and like practice. So yeah, pretty excited. I'm not going to film this process. I feel like that's like really weird. So we're out here at Mass Firearms because this is where I did my LTC class. So I'm like a little bit familiar with the facilities anyways. And Josh is with me. He's gonna he's gonna guide me through. He's like my emotional support, because I'm like, what am I supposed to say? Hello, can I buy a gun? Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, okay, we're home and I did it. I purchased my first firearm. I'm not gonna show it on screen for obvious reasons, but I did just want to have a brief follow-up to the conversation we had in the car, because I'm aware that I do have some very young girls following me on YouTube, and I want to be responsible, and I want to approach this from an educational standpoint, because when we think of firearms, when we think of guns, we think of death, violence, dangerous, right-wing propaganda, Republicans, mass shootings. We think of all of these negative connotations. But if we're being honest, a lot of those negative connotations all have one thing in common. They're associated with one thing, and that is irresponsible gun ownership. Guns can be dangerous in the hands of irresponsible gun owners. And so for me, like I said, I spent months researching not just different types of guns, but also how to be a responsible gun owner, especially in the state of Massachusetts, because Massachusetts has some of the strictest gun laws. And as annoying and truly, like, if you read some of them, they don't really make sense. I'm like, who wrote this? But they work. Now, I'm not saying you need to agree with me. I'm not saying, yeah, you know, everybody should own a gun. If you disagree and you still think guns are bad and you think, you know, guns are dangerous, what I would argue you to also consider is you can believe that, but you also need to understand that whether or not you agree with it, what matters is, regardless, it is as much my constitutional right to bear arms as much as it is a Republican. And I say that because our Constitution is currently under attack by somebody who can't even spell Constitution. So I just wanted to put that out there. But if you have any questions, you can always leave me a comment below. You can also DM me on Instagram at The Spanish Chick. I'm happy to continue the conversation with anybody who wants to continue the conversation. Okay, so I put a little Ask Me Anything box on Instagram, and we're gonna go through and I'll answer your questions. Found your wedding from Hotel El Convento, and it's my wedding inspiration. Please share all details. Girl, we ain't got time for that in this video, let me tell you. What I can tell you is that if my wedding is your inspiration, if you're not already living in Puerto Rico, I highly recommend Soiree with Karen, Soiree by Karen. Martinez. She was our wedding planner. She was phenomenal. I mean, her connections are great, but also Karen is somebody who's gonna be honest with you and will help you stick to your budget, and is also somebody who is just so kind and is the kind of person you want on your wedding day to just help keep you calm, let you know everything's, you know, going well. I've had a couple of people, there's a couple of questions in here about my wedding. So if you guys want more wedding content or like a wedding recap, let me know in the comments. I can definitely do that. But yeah, I would definitely say if my wedding was your inspiration, start with Karen, Soiree by Karen Martinez. And I'll link her Instagram here for you guys. How do you and your spouse stay motivated to keep dating each other amid life just lifing? Great question. First, just know that if you're in a season of the ordinary in your marriage, that's fine. That's normal. A lot of life is just ordinary, but it definitely can feel like sometimes you're just in routine and you kind of got to break that. You're kind of operating more as like just two people moving through life together instead of, you know, really reconnecting as actual partners. So there's a couple things we do. The first is date night, right? That's like a lot of what's in my vlogs is our weekly date night. For us, we love to try new restaurants, but you don't always have to go out to eat. Occasionally we've gone to like a local like soccer game, or we'll go to like an arcade, we'll play games. Or what we've done occasionally is go to the grocery store and have each other pick out like little sweet treats, and then we like come back to the house and, you know, try it together. Ultimately, you have to treat it like a habit, right? You know, it's no different than, you know, going to the gym. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna be committed, you have to be consistent in it. So if you're saying, you know, we're gonna have a weekly date night, you gotta stick to it. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's also, oh, I wonder if I could find it. For our wedding, somebody gifted me this deck of cards that was for date nights. It was like different date nights at different price points. I'm gonna see if I could find it. But we've used that before also. It's like different date night ideas between like 0 and 30. But yeah, my best advice is just, you have to treat it like a habit. You know, find something if you want to do the same thing every week because that's easier. You know, that's also something you could do if you want to go out to the same restaurant every week, or you want to go to the same arcade every week, or the same brewery every week, or to the park and you guys just bring your favorite snacks. Be creative and talk about it with your partner, but definitely you have to make it a habit and don't allow other circumstances to get in the way of it. How do you get brand deals as a small creator? I want to do content but don't know how. So I think it's important to be clear about what your goals are. Ultimately, you've got to figure out what it is you want. And the best way to get brand deals is to build a relationship with the brand. So that means if, you know, you really love, I don't know, if I really love this water bottle, I'm gonna start making videos including this water bottle. In every video, I'm either gonna mention the water bottle, I'm gonna be like, let's get ready, you know, let me make my little like spritz for the day or whatever it is, like and tag the brand. When you do that consistently on social media and you're tagging brands, I will say that's how I've gotten a couple of brand deals. That's also how I've gotten some PR. So that's a good way to start. Really just start putting out content. It can be hard sometimes to keep up with trends. I know on TikTok in the search bar, you can use the creator search insights and it will tell you what content gap is missing and then suggest content for you to make for your audiences. But yeah, you just have to start putting out as much content as you can, tagging the brands that you're interested in, following the brands that you're interested in, and commenting on, you know, their stuff. Like if they're posting a story, you know, write a little message, a little DM to be like, oh my God, can't wait to try, or oh my God, this looks so exciting. Because over time, brands will be like, you know what? We've got this upcoming launch, and they'll reach out to you to say, hey, can we send you this product for, you know, a video? Or that's a good opportunity to see if you can be a part of their campaign. You said you got married in 2024 and 2023. Did you have 2 weddings, or are you married to 2 different people? No, so in 2023, we got legally married. Essentially, my father-in-law has ALS, and in terms of like planning the wedding and, you know, actually being married, it was really important to both of us that he be there, present. And so we just kind of decided, you know, right off the bat to do a civil ceremony. And so we got married at St. Leonard's in the North End. We had just a little lunch reception with family at Mama Maria, and he was able to be there, which was the most important thing for both of us. So that was great. So we got married in 2023, and then we spent all of 2023 planning our actual wedding for 2024. Same guy, just 2 ceremonies. Thoughts on Bad Bunny skipping America, which I agree with. Hashtag Puerto Rico wins. So for those who don't know, Bad Bunny is opening up his world tour in Puerto Rico. He announced these dates. You were there with me in early February when I was like online trying to get the tickets. So he's doing his residency in Puerto Rico over the summer, and then he just recently announced that he's going on a world tour. So he's going, you know, basically everywhere except the United States. And I think that's fair, honestly. For somebody like Bad Bunny who has such an international presence, I think it says a lot for him to be like, no, I'm not coming to the US. And I wholeheartedly agree with it. His Puerto Rico shows are gonna be unlike anything else that he does. He was like, yeah, they're gonna be really special. They're not like anything else I'm doing. And I'm like, great, glad I got tickets. How did you know Josh was the one? Can you give us single girls some tips? Okay, to figure out if somebody is compatible for you and to figure out if somebody is the person you could spend the rest of your life with, it can't just be about love. That is a great foundation, but there has to be more. And I think it's really important to give a relationship time. Your first year of a relationship, you're really trying to like be your best persona, you know, like you're really trying to still impress them. You're still, you know, kind of like in that honeymoon phase that you really don't, it just takes time to really figure out, you know, how does this person argue? You know, how does this person solve conflict? What are their finances? You know, how do you manage money? You know, if somebody's walking around with the latest Tesla and the latest watch and they're always at parties and, you know, they're always stunting on the gram, like that's a red flag. Like, why do you feel the need to be so flashy? You want to see how they interact with their family if they're close to their family. You want to see how they interact with your friends. It's okay to be upfront and it's okay to ask, you know, direct questions, but also give it time. And my biggest tip is be careful with giving the benefit of the doubt. I think as women, we have a natural instinct to want to see the best in people and we want to give them the benefit of the doubt. So as an example, you know, if a guy doesn't text you back, but then he's posting on his Instagram stories 24/7 that he's out and this and that, don't be like, oh, well, you know, he's busy. Like, you know, I don't want to be a burden. Like, I don't want to like, you know, interrupt his night. If he can be all over the gram, he can text you back. Like, that is not a situation to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's ignoring you. Red flag. While Josh and I were, you know, first dating and getting to know each other, one thing I was very cognizant of was, do I like this man the way he is? Because also as women, we're like, oh, I don't really like this about this guy, but I can change him, right? Like if a man has behaviors that you don't like, you're like, oh, I could change him. You can't change nobody, okay? You really have to ask yourself, do I like this man the way he is? Is this a man who can support my goals and support me in what I want to do with my life? Is this somebody who can also uplift me and, you know, push me to be the best version of myself? Like those are important characteristics to look at when you're dating someone to see if they could be the one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video. Additionally, any of the products that I talked about or mentioned in this video can be found in the description below if you click Shop My Favorites. It is an affiliate link, so I appreciate any and all support. I love you guys and I will see you next week.